but over Kent State. Let's first talk about Alex Clemson, though, the 6th-year head coach for Maryland. He's again looking to improve on last year's record.
Yeah, he led Maryland to program records in points, finishes, and placers at the 2024 Big Ten Championships earlier this year. And
so it starts with 125, too. This is a highly contested position. It's a new face. We saw against Kent State Preston Sanchez go. Now here's the collegiate debut of Tyler Garvin, the freshman from Rising Sun, Maryland. Going against Cade Davenheiser for Bucknell. Davenheiser was in action earlier today against Kent State in our very first match. He earned a 6-3 decision over the Golden Flash's Nico Colello to start that one.
Davenheiser started 5 EIWA duels last year, going against the freshman in Garvin.
This is a really interesting position. Again, we touched on the 125 makeup this year. It's just 3 freshmen between Garvin and Sanchez and Abram Klein, another Californian. So Garvin's got a spot really to take advantage against his Bucknell team after Sanchez, again, was defeated by a decision to open up the Kent State match.
Yeah, head coach Alex Clemson said earlier this offseason, signed 3 freshmen in this 125 class. Preston Sanchez, who we just saw a little bit ago, Tyler Garvin along with Abram Klein. Says he doesn't have a set plan for the 125 class, but he'll be strategic and giving opportunities for these new freshmen to compete.
Yeah, we touched on it too in that Kent State match where no one really separated themselves between Klein, Garvin, and Sanchez. So looking to find that guy and someone here, maybe it could be the local product. Again, from Rising Sun High School, just about 90 minutes northeast of College Park. Tyler Garvin looking to etch his name, make an impact with the Maryland M on his chest.
Cade Davenheiser, Bison's go-to guy in this 125 class. He was a 3-time high school national prep placer, and you see him on top here grabbing the right leg of Garvin and taking advantage early.
Trying to go on top still. No one with a takedown yet, and those riding time points not into effect in the final minute of the first period. Stalemate brings the 2 wrestlers back to the mat. Garvin trying to show some of that speed and go low. Working around. Davenheiser not giving up anything. Garvin never lost a match in high school where he was a 3-time Maryland state champion. Dubbed by Maryland head coach Alex Clemson as the best public school in the state a year ago. Best public school kid, I should say, in the state, not a school himself.
You mentioned it, the homegrown talent coming from within Maryland. Clemson and Maryland Wrestling liking to recruit within their own state, and Garvin's one of their top highly touted recruits of this 24 class.
Clemson called getting him a priority and trying to, again, facilitate that pipeline of the best wrestlers in Maryland come to Maryland is what Clemson wants to do here now in his 6th season with this Maryland program. Opportunity for Garvin to start the riding time.
See that quick move there by Davenheiser, getting back up on his feet. Off initially down in that squat position. Great reaction time there by the sophomore.
This is an escape point for Davenheiser, first of the match for either opponent. Both wrestlers at the top. Garvin looking for his first collegiate points. Good wraparound, and the takedown represents those first 3.
And that's how you do it.
Here come
Garvin.
The swipes as well. Garvin getting him. And he's looking for the extra fall points. We'll reset things in the middle. Garvin on top, adding on the riding time after the takedown.
Tyler Garvin, the first takedown in a Maryland uniform.
We'll reset things, say Garvin went too early. Quick moves here from David Heiser. He wants another escape point. Another escape point awarded to David Heiser. We'll update the scoreboard in just a moment. 3-2 in favor of Tyler Garvin over Cade David Heiser. So a 1 point advantage for the freshman. Tyler Garvin making his collegiate debut against the Bucknell Bisons.
See Garvin so quick on his feet in this 125 class. So light, just tiptoeing around the M logo on center mat there. Just finding ways to get around David Heiser and contribute when it matters.
Garvin trying to go for a single leg shot. Defended well by David Heiser. Still 3-2 in favor of Tyler Garvin in Maryland. In the 125 weight class, kicking us off between Bucknell and Maryland. That's how the second period buzzer will end. Garvin up 3-2, as you see right there. We're just about to get started the third period at 125.
Very close start here.
We're right in the middle. You see, Clemson says right now for the red shirt, for the true freshman. In his very first collegiate action. Has to throw David Heiser off. Can't make it a move. Double leg shot. Has to go over. He's got to bring him up though now for the takedown. Still nothing here. Garvin trying to build the base and throw. Cade David Heiser. David Heiser defending with the right leg, right foot. Keeping it on top. Still no riding time difference. David Heiser will need his first takedown of the match if he wants to do so.
See the resiliency here from Garvin driving through the hips of David Heiser to keep this sequence alive.
Garvin trying for the flip. And moving on to the top. Final minute in this period. Riding time will not be a factor. They're looking for the takedown point for Garvin, and they get it. Tyler Garvin extends his lead 7-2. The freshman now wanting more. Every coach for Maryland well off their seats, wanting to see him get the points. Maintain it, and actually at the final second, I beg your pardon, Garvin could get some riding time advantage here. Moving this up by a 5-point lead. This one should go in favor of Tyler Garvin.
He secures the riding time there under a minute, or over a minute rather, with just under 10 seconds to go in this third period.
Garvin in a contested 125 class. He goes up against Cade David Heiser and gets the decision win, puts his hands up. The rising sun kid rising to the challenge in his first collegiate match.
And it's nothing but smiles on the Maryland sideline. Tyler Garvin coming in as a freshman in his first collegiate match, getting the decision win. Alex Clemson.
Puts his name into the hat and see what happens, as we now have a top 15 matchup here. The lone top 15 battle of the night between Braxton Brown and Kurt Phipps.
And Kurt Phipps, a guy, Tech fall in the first match against Kent State, one of the nation's best here at that 11 spot in the 133 class, and Braxton Brown trying to get to his feet, but the strength of Kurt Phipps showing through right now.
This is one of the best matchups you'll see in the very first match of competition, early November, NCAA wrestling.
And acting head coach Tyler Smith says about Phipps, you know, his confidence is the greatest it's ever been, right? One of the staples of this Bucknell team.
Both these wrestlers in action with bonus points wins to start off the day. First, it was Kurt Phipps with a Tech Fall 16-0 win for the Bison. And then midday, it was Braxton Brown picking up a major decision win, 16-2. Barely missing out on a Tech Fall. These are two highly contested wrestlers. 1-0, and it wasn't close in their first match. Mention the confidence that they have in Phipps. See Alex Clemson right there. He knows what he has. Doesn't have to worry too much when Braxton Brown is on the mat.
But it's a tough challenge here for Brown. Kurt Phipps, a storied wrestler, as they reset here. A two-time NCAA qualifier, tied for the most team wins on Bucknell last year, and 12 career wins over nationally ranked opponents. He's looking to make it 13, but Braxton Brown has other plans.
Brown 56-25 in his career against Division I opponents. This is, again, his first full season at 133. Made the jump up mid-year last season to 133 from 125. Still able to qualify as a redshirt freshman at the 125 weight. So an NCAA experience on both sides of the mat.
And great recovery on that last sequence. Brown went for the legs and snapped right back up as soon as Phipps started to make his move to even it up here.
Stalemate is called. Both wrestlers resetting in the middle. Braxton Brown trying to take that next step up, training so much more efficiently as he's now well adjusted to the 133 weight class. This was a struggle for him last season when he found himself in these tight, low-scoring matches. He had to really find himself and seeing what it was like being a 33.
And Braxton Brown just 3 ranked wins all of last year compared to Phipps's 12. So the level of competition pretty even on both sides. Top 15 matchup. Getting good here early. Still gridlock though.
Final seconds of the first period. Both wrestlers looking at each other. And we'll reset in the middle. Warning issued to Kurt Phipps. Final seconds dumbed down, still scoreless between Braxton Brown, Kurt Phipps. Neither wrestler showing their hand in a top 15 battle at 133.
Seeing just kind of a settle-in period here, kind of like a thermostat. Not too hot, not too cold, just somewhere right in the middle.
This match gives off 72-degree type energy.
Pretty much.
Braxton Brown trying to fight for an escape point. Kurt Phipps working on top. Riding point slowly in his favor. Look at Kurt Phipps. All over Braxton Brown as he builds a base. Working on the right leg of the Bison.
And look at that wide base of Braxton Brown staying on his feet. Phipps is trying to tear it down.
Kurt Phipps trying to throw the hips back too. Clemson's got the ball block in his hand, debating a challenge. They want to say it's a call against him. Alex Clemson all the way over to the scorer's table now. 2 points awarded on the reversal for Braxton Brown. Comes after a escape as well. So now Clemson will have a discussion with the referees. As it stands, a reversal and an escape for Braxton Brown. Leads the number 15th ranked 133-pound wrestler to a 3-point advantage over Bucknell and their 11th ranked wrestler, Kurt Phipps.
Now wide base by Brown, so impactful. You're seeing here on the sidelines, assistant coach Elijah Oliver. He's worked closely with Braxton Brown and part of this lightweight group, taking him under his wing. You can see here the passion showing through. Braxton Brown up early.
Yeah, you see the two assistant coaches right there between, just on the screen was associate head coach Nick Bracetta, the new associate head coach for Maryland. And Elijah Oliver, as you mentioned, first year in his full-time position.
It looks like it's going to be a ride time check. Coach's challenge, though, on the last one.
So we'll check to see where that number would be. As it stands right now, it's 23. You see the coach, Elijah Oliver, right there with Clemson. 23 seconds of riding time in favor of Kurt Phipps. So we'll see where that stands. Braxton Brown holding the overall score advantage and still in the infancy of this match overall. It's a 3-0 Maryland lead over Bucknell after Tyler Garvin picks up his very first win by decision. As we'll adjust the riding time just down to 18 seconds. So you get a great look at it right there. And we're back with just Under 70 seconds left in the second period between Braxton Brown and Kurt Phipps. Drawing at the hands, Brown throws himself back out.
These are two guys that like to play fast, light on their feet, look for Phipps to make the attacking move low.
And some of that elusiveness that you'll see. There's some elusiveness on the right leg shot. Yielding around is Brown looking for the takedown. They want to see the swipes come out. 3 points on the takedown for Brown. Bucknell can't believe it. Now Brown up to 3 points on that, and a 6-1 advantage over Kurt Phipps.
What a maneuver from Braxton Brown. Down, counted out of it, and then the flip over to regain control over Phipps and signal the 3-point takedown.
Following the takedown, riding time now going into Braxton Brown's favor. It starts to count up as this second period comes towards a close. It's Kurt Phipps' turn. Build up that base with those powerful legs. So riding time up to 18 seconds in Braxton Brown's favor. And so is the scoreboard in Brown's favor after this takedown.
Get a look here at the takedown. See Brown just trying to regain the control, and right after it, here comes Clemson. Has that red block in hand, ready to throw it if something happens, but not needed. 3 points for Braxton Brown. Book it for Brown.
Yeah, Clemson thought about it for a second.
He thought about it. Had it in the hand.
Did a little behind the back with it and decided that the score looks as it should. 6-1 in favor of Braxton Brown to Maryland, who already holds a 3-0 lead over Bucknell after a decision at the 125 opening bout. Riding time into Braxton Brown's favor. But a win too, Ben, with Brown still up by 5 points.
No doubt for Brown. It's just about, measured control here, right? Not trying to do too much, but also still keeping that advantage as he builds up this riding time here. No need to get flashy. Just don't want Phipps to escape. Just want to stay in control if you're Maryland.
Brown's in the driver's seat now with a 5-point cushion, so even if Phipps can pull out a escape and then a takedown somehow in the final minute, it's still Brown who would hold a point advantage. So they'll see if Kurt Phipps can get the escape to at least make the process started here.
Two very evenly matched wrestlers. You can see Brown with the early advantage, but Phipps, number 11 in the country, can never count him out. Just under a minute, though, he's going to have to move and rack up some of these points.
That return there for Braxton Brown and the Allen, Texas native, all in the driver's seat here. Looking to start his season 2-0, both by bonus points. And a return to Phipps. Early season top 15 matchup between Bucknell and Maryland. Maryland and their coaching staff can't believe the stalemate being called and resetting in the middle.
Just 25 seconds to go. Brown secured that riding time. Now it's at 1:52. And Clemson talking with the ref, just talking things over as Phipps takes the middle spot, and Brown will look to reset at center mat.
Discussion here again, Braxton Brown and Kurt Phipps debating to see if the stalemate should have been called. Again, this is a much better position for Phipps to be in if he wants to earn that escape point. So with Clemson a bit more animated on it, issued a warning for questioning to the Maryland bench. Just a warning though. Quick 2 points on the reversal for Kurt Phipps. All of a sudden, this is now within a takedown, and Phipps working after the whistle. Clemson not happy about it.
And the Bucknell bench very animated as well. That last play called as potentially dangerous, given that warning there.
Phipps had Brown on the back. So we're back underway for the final 12 seconds. Would need to be reversal and then up above for Phipps. But it goes down as a decision win for Braxton Brown. Some extracurriculars at the end. And Brown pulls out a decision, 2-0 to start his 2024-25.
Coach Tyler Smith just emphasizing the need to take care of business. Says it's a cool down break for the players in between games, but as a staff, a great time to lock in on game plans. We've seen that here with Pizzuto.
So the Maryland lead cut into half. It's now 6-3 in favor of the Terps. As we go up to 149, still getting used to seeing Cal Miller's name next to that 49 number. Here he is against Braden Bauer and Bucknell. Grabbing the right leg, trying to go for the double leg shot. Thrown to the ground, a big three-point takedown from Cal Miller.
Cal Miller got some airtime on that one. Bauer flies into the air for the early three-point takedown, and what a play. Saw it earlier, just getting those immediate points 30, 40 seconds into the game. That's what the Miller brothers do. You'll see Ethan a little bit later, but Cal doing a great job racking up those points in the first couple seconds.
Just powering through. That is a textbook teach the kids at club wrestling how to go through a takedown with Cal Miller. Miller again, just as he did against Kent State, up early into the first period. In response, Braden Bauer earns the escape point.
Braden Bauer, this is a guy, just steady improvement each year. Now a junior, another one of these Bison hybrid wrestlers. Competed at 141 and 149 last year, settling in at that higher mark this year in the 149 column. 14-9 overall, 6-5 in dual matches last year.
And Bauer beat Billy Meisner of Kent State by decision in the 149 battle this morning. Now trying to knock off a ranked opponent with Cal Miller up. Miller driving through with his right leg. Trying to work on Braden Bauer's right leg.
Miller, such a good hold on the right leg of Bauer, preventing any points from going on the board, and they'll reset here.
Two juniors going at it at 149. Maryland looking to get back on the scoreboard after conceding 3 points to Bucknell at the 141 class. So far, the only position, still early in the second match, but the only weight class where Maryland dropped to both Bucknell and Kent State. As for neutral position, you see Braden Bauer really trying to go at Miller's head for working low. Miller backing off as Braden Bauer paces towards the Maryland bench, working around with the Bucknell bench where his twin brother Riley Bauer is also watching on, a wrestler at the 149 weight for Bucknell. Miller trying to work things out, again, putting on so much muscle in the move up to the 149 weight class. We touched on it earlier, a wrestler that some people thought, including head coach Alex Clemson, maybe could make that jump all the way up from 141 to 157.
Yeah, his brother takes up that spot though, 157. Ethan Miller, but Cal moving up 8. As we get a look at this takedown here. What a sequence. Wrapped around the hip and then slammed down, getting some airtime on that one.
And powering through, you saw it coming all the way up and then bringing Bauer down with him. Cal Miller trying to prove that he deserves to be ranked in the first week of the NCAA wrestling season. Chappelle fighting hard with that hand grip and earns his second escape point. Anyone's match here between Cal Miller and Braden Bauer. Each wrestler still thinking about it. Lower scoring match than we saw Cal Miller get into against Kent State earlier today, where Miller went up against Billy Meisner, winning by a decision. Miller goes for the right leg shot. Trying to work Bauer onto his back. Fighting like crazy with those legs. Keep pinning Bauer's left arm, right leg together.
What a hold Miller has right there on the leg. Got it, and he'll get the 3 points.
Second takedown worked by Cal Miller. Another point for the escape. So again, just keep going in the sequence of a Cal Miller takedown and then a Braden Bauer escape is how we find ourselves at 6-3. Moving around slowly. Final seconds are beginning to tick off in the second period. Maryland looking to double its lead by at least winning this one by a decision. So, onto the bottom. Cal Miller positions himself. Trying to find an escape. And getting it quickly, as you see. Bauer just lets him have it.
Still plenty of time for Bauer on the attacking end. Here's a work around. You see the quick feet there as Miller just trying to get position. Down near center mat. Arms around the shoulders of Bauer. And kind of just hopping around the center logo there.
Moving quickly with 90 seconds left to play between Cal Miller and Braden Bauer. You see their riding time in Cal's favor. Not much of a factor at the moment. Miller wanted to prove a statement that he can be here at 149. He's ready for his moment. Win over Braden Bauer put him at 2-0 for the day.
See both these wrestlers play pretty reserved, but when these move happens, they happen quickly. You see Miller trying to take the offense on here, trying to extend that riding time, but Bauer's in the hold on his side and can't quite get position.
They want to get the swipes here. Miller's trying to move the right leg. They're watching to see if it's a dangerous play or not. And it goes another takedown for Cal Miller.
Miller extends his lead to 7. Trying to secure that riding time as well as that keeps ticking up, but a 6-point lead rather for Miller.
Miller's up by 2 takedowns worth. Trying to find another one with the sweep on the right leg. Now here's a sweep from Bauer. Working on the left leg. Defense for Miller. Look at him fight under it. Feet and hands and all for Cal Miller. To get out and avoid the takedown with under 10 seconds to play in the third.
Approaching the edge of that mat here. You got to be careful. Just a couple seconds ticked off the clock. And a good job from Miller holding that down the stretch and extending that victory.
Couple extra words with Bauer because Miller knows what he just did. 2-0 on the day for Cal Miller. Miller times back at Maryland in full swing. Puts up another 3 points via the decision win. Cal Miller gets it done. Gives a high five to his older brother Ethan Miller, who's now going to take it off. And Cal Miller looks comfortable in the new weight.